Okay, let's have a look at question 9 from exercise 1D. Again, a question that's a little bit difficult to start off and just to sort of work out what's going on. But again, you'll get better at these over the course of the 2 years. Some parts of this course, most parts of this course, are going to be just in comfort zone. They're going to be, even if it's new work, it'll be algebraic. It'll be solving sort of numerical algebraic problems, and it's going to be pure maths. Now, anytime you go into applied maths, there's context. There's how do I put the pure maths into this stuff, and it's not as straightforward necessarily. And so, be patient with it is my message really, and don't be too stressed out by feeling this unfamiliar. Even though saying don't be stressed out by it is probably futile, because of course it's natural to. At the start of 2010, Karam had $5,000 to invest, and the wording of this is pretty bad. He decided to invest part of the money in a savings account that offered 1.5% simple interest. Okay, so part of the money, part. Right, we're going to have to give this part of the money some sort of name. So we'll sort of say let X equal savings account. Okay, so that's where some of the money is going. I don't know how much is going there, but some of it's going there. And that's getting 1.5%. It's getting 1.5% simple interest. Now, simple interest is interest that you get on the original amount, and it never changes. So if you invest $100 at 10% for 10 years, then you get $10 a year. That's it. It doesn't get recalculated on new amounts. You don't get interest on your interest. You just get interest on the original amount. That's simple interest. Now, he added 1,000 to this amount. So he added 1,000 to this amount. So that's X plus 1,000, and fixed it for 10 years in bonds. Right. So, So then X plus 1,000 is what goes into bonds, and bonds are 2.5%. This is all per annum, and that's compound interest. Compound interest for 10 years. Right. The rest of the money is going into shares. Right. So the rest of the money is, well, we can only say, well, that's whatever's left. Once you take 5,000, you subtract X, and you subtract X plus 1,000. Right, that's what's going into shares. Okay, so we better simplify this. Firstly, 5,000 minus X minus 1,000. So therefore, what's that? That's 4,000 minus 2X is going into shares. Okay, now we're told after 1 year the money invested in shares made a loss of 1%. Given the total amount of money invested increased by 75, determine how much money Karam invested in each. So I'm just going to work out A and then leave B to you. Okay, so let's get this information down. So after 1 year, so we know that after a year, that X in this savings account, after 1 year, so let's put the after 1 year amounts down. So after 1 year, right? So this is pretty straightforward. We're getting X dollars, and it's just going to get 1.015 applied to it. Okay, whatever the amount was, it's getting 1.5% simple interest, so it's going to accumulate to that. So after a year, that's how much we've got. After a year, this guy, this X plus 1,000, is going to accumulate, X plus 1,000 is going to accumulate at 2.5%, so that's 1.025. Okay, so that's what we're getting after a year. And now we've just been told that the shares made a loss of 1%. So our 4,000 minus 2X after 1 year, 4,000 minus 2X, well, that loses 1%. So that sheds at 1%. So that's 0.9, it's 99% of what it was. Okay, so these blue amounts here have to sum to an increase of $75 on what Karam started with, which was what, 5,000? 5,000. So it's now worth this plus this plus this. These three expressions here, they're going to sum to 5,075. So we can say, therefore, 1.015x plus 1.025x plus, now this is 1,000 by 1.025, which is 1025. All right, so that's the bonds bit. It's bonds. That's the savings. And now we're going to add this 4,000 by 0.99 minus, what's that going to be, 1.98x. So there's our figure, and those amounts have to sum to 5,075 because we're told that there's an overall increase of 75 from 5,000. Okay, so we just need to solve this now for x. So we've got 1.015x, we're adding 1.025. So that gets us, and then we're subtracting 1.98. So we've got 1.015 plus 1.025 minus 1.98. Right, that's all my x's collected. Then I've got 1,025 plus 1,025 plus 3,960, and that's all equal to 5,075. So out of all that, we get point, I think therefore, is it 0.06x, and that's going to equal 5,075, subtract all this will give us 90. And so therefore x will be equal to 1,500. So determine how much money Karam invested in each of the schemes. So therefore $1,500 $1,500 into savings account. What was it, 1,000 more than that, so $2,500 into bonds, and then the rest, which was $1,000, into shares. Okay, so with that information now, have a go at B yourselves, answers in the back of the book. Hope that helps.